Jay is more than simply an entrepreneur. He's an innovator, an inventor, a creator. Who else would curate a library devoted, as he says, to the astonishing capabilities of the human imagination? As early as May of 1999, Forbes magazine referred to him as the New Age Edison. It is my distinct honor and pleasure, indeed privilege, on behalf of the entire campus community to recognize Jay and present him with an honorary degree from Cazenovia College. Jay, would you join me here? Ladies and gentlemen, and graduates of the class of 2011, let me present the newest member of this extraordinary class. And now it's a little bit more extraordinary. Your commencement speaker for 2011, Dr. J.S. Walker.
Low-key, that way I can exceed expectations. There's no way. Mr. President, members of the faculty, Board of Trustees, distinguished guests, parents, and families, I know you all join me in congratulating the class of 2011. Thank you so much for inviting me to speak. And though I speak often in public environments, this is my first time ever speaking to a graduating class. So it's a special privilege and challenge to do that. Now, I'm an odd choice because I was never a good student. In fact, Brad Wheeler and I were commenting when Courtney was being honored here that our GPAs together added up to about 4.0. I actually dropped out of college, the classic entrepreneur tradition, for a year and a half, never intending to return, but of course I did. Your nominating committee of students said that I was a good fit for Cazenovia because I've accomplished many unusual things in my life. However, as you heard earlier from the president, I think I'm best known as the person who hired William Shatner to do television commercials for this small internet startup I had begun called Priceline.com. So, for 4 years now, you've been asking each other, what's your major? Well, now that you've graduated, it's my turn to ask you the same question. What are you going to major in for the rest of your life? What's going to be your specialty? The skill you do best? What are you going to focus on? Now, there are hundreds of different seniors here, and we've really never met. But I have an unusual opinion on what every one of you should specialize in. It's a secret that I've learned that I know is true. I know the people that focus on this life major always get good jobs faster. They get paid more, much more. These people enjoy life more. And they meet more interesting people. And they have lifelong friendships with this major. So here's the secret. You will become what you imagine. You'll become what you imagine. From now on, no matter what your career in life, what path you pursue, there's one thing I'm sure of, and that is you should major in imagination. Because when you combine imagination, the craft of imagination, with the two most important attitudes in life, determination and passion, the results are going to astound you. Imagination is the most important, most valuable, most useful, everyday intellectual tool you can possess. Chances are you never took a course in it. In fact, chances are they don't teach it here at Cazenovia College or at any college. But it's a value that runs through this school. It's in every class and it's been implied between the lines. And today, let me make it explicit. And here's why. I believe that imagination is the most important skill you're going to need for the next 40 or 50 years. Imagination is a lot like learning to read and write. It's a skill that once you learn it and nurture it, it changes the whole story of your life. And I'm going to talk about the story of your life in a minute. But first, let me give you some common sense reasons why you want to develop and practice your imagination. So number one, imagination is liberating. It lets you go anywhere. You can do anything in your imagination. You can put yourself in anyone's shoes. You can persuade other people. You can inspire. You can lift your gloom. You can fire up your courage with imagination. Imagination is profitable. Every new product, every new service, every new way to create value starts with one person's imagination. Committees have no imagination, only people. Imagination is how the world moves forward. When you meet your future spouse or partner, it's all about imagining a life together. If you decide to have a family, you imagine it first. A change in jobs or places to live, that starts in your imagination. Imagination starts everything. And imagination is fun. It makes us smile and laugh. Every joke we hear is typically an exercise in our imaginations being tricked. We imagine one thing and the punchline surprises us. Thinking new ideas, even things you never tell anyone, is fun. But imagination is really about the story of our lives. The inner story we tell ourselves about where we're going, why we do things, what we want for ourselves and our loved ones. Imagination is the lifeblood of stories. And stories are the most powerful things in the world. That's why the Bible is filled with stories. The idea of America is a story. Personal freedom, democracy, limited government, personal responsibility, land of opportunity, the American dream. These are the stories of our nation. When you die, the eulogy at your funeral will be a story. Stories are so important that at my company, I actually invented a job that was unlike any I had ever heard of. It's called the Chief Storytelling Officer. It's the job. His name is Marcus Webb. Helped me work on this. Okay, and here's what the Chief Storytelling Officer does. See, I run an invention laboratory. We invent new business systems, like Priceline. We literally invent new ideas, new ways of doing things. But you can't sell ideas to people. They've got to be turned into benefits that people and companies want. But the ideas are new. That's why they're ideas. And they're untested. So people don't want to buy the new ideas until they're proven. But how do you prove them if nobody will try them? So we tell stories about them. Stories that are so good that people accept the story as proof that the ideas are worth buying. And that's why we needed a Chief Storytelling Officer. But the ideas of your future are equally unproven. Who wants to hire your ideas? Who wants to marry you? Who wants to take a chance with you? You're actually the Chief Storytelling Officer for your life. You get to write your own story, even though the world is going to throw all kinds of things at you that you don't control. You get to write the story that chooses how you respond, how you feel, how you adapt. This is the internal narrative, the story in your head all the time. I am a musician. I am an artist. I am a helper. I am a loving spouse. I am a mother. I am a father. I am a good person. I am generous. I am curious. I am honest. I am hardworking. I am tough. I am resourceful. I am afraid. These aren't facts. These are stories we tell ourselves. The way you write the story of your life is with your imagination. Okay, so what is this imagination thing? Well, too often, especially as older adults, we think of imagination as something childish, like flights of fancy fairy tales, a magic carpet ride for the mind. Well, imagination is a magic carpet ride, but imagination is far from childish. It's childlike. And between the two is all the difference in the world. You see, the reason great physicists typically do all of their great work in their 20s and 30s is by the time they hit 40, too many of them have lost their capacity to imagine. That's why Albert Einstein said if you want to stay on the path of discovery and innovation your whole life long, you must strive to view the world through the eyes of a child. Einstein, perhaps the greatest genius in the last 1,000 years, actually imagined what it would be like to ride a beam of light. He didn't imagine the mathematics. He imagined the idea of riding light waves, which became the theory of general relativity that completely changed our ideas of space and time. That's imagination. Imagination is the ability to conceive what doesn't exist, but it starts with some very simple questions we all know. What if? How about? Why can't we? And once the imagination is applied to a specific field, it becomes creativity. And finally, if that creativity is useful, novel, and has novel elements, we describe it as innovation. So that's the three-step chain. Imagination leads to creativity, which fosters innovation. Imagination, in fact, is what makes us human. It's a uniquely human trait to tell stories and project ourselves into the future. Not just one future, but an infinite possibility of futures. J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter books, understands this well. Here's what she said. She said, quote, "Unlike any other creature on this planet, humans can learn and understand without having experienced. They can think themselves into other people's ideas." I would add, only human beings dream of potential tomorrows and then dream of making them real. Now, everyone has imagination. There's a myth that only some people, like really creative types, have this imagination. For the lucky few, it's baloney. Right? Everyone's born with imagination. Just go into any kindergarten, it's filled with it. Okay? Imagination works all the time. Even while you're sleeping, Paul McCartney used to say that he woke up with the best melodies after he slept. Okay? So the real question is, how do you use your imagination? You've got it. It's sort of like a muscle. You can ignore it. Guess what? Your muscle atrophies. Or you can exercise it, and it grows. Because if we fail to cultivate imagination in every individual, in every field, and on every level of the value chain, then we're wasting one of the greatest resources in the world. So look for intriguing problems in the outside world. Learn all you can about the specific problems, because more knowledge always leads to more imagination. Listen to your inner voice. Masaya Nakamura, the man who invented Pac-Man, who actually launched the video game revolution, you'd think he would never be outside of a computer, recommended that each of us set aside a few minutes every day to go by ourselves and to listen to silence. That's where inspiration comes from. Thomas Edison said the same thing. So did IBM's Thomas Watson. For years, IBM's whole slogan, the whole company's slogan, was one word: think. I think it really needs to be. Ask provocative questions. What if? How come? Why can't we? And dare to dream, of course. Vision is seeing what isn't there. One of the first airline pilots at the dawn of aviation, when everybody laughed that these silly little airplanes would never amount to anything, right? The author of a children's story, The Little Prince, happened to be one of the pioneers of aviation. Here's what he once said. He said, "A rock pile ceases to be a rock pile the moment a single man or woman contemplates it, bearing within him or her the image of a cathedral." Another way to use your imagination is to live your vision. After you have visions, live in it. Keep it alive. Now, this advice sounds sort of airy-fairy, right? I mean, let me tell you something. Living your vision turns out to be the most down-to-earth, pragmatic advice you can follow. The toughest soldiers in the U.S. Armed Forces, the Navy SEALs, who we've heard so much about in the last few weeks, okay, are taught the technique of living in your vision in an incredibly physical way. Let me tell you what the SEALs do. The SEALs in groups stand in the freezing cold ocean, the surf, with the surf right up to their chest. They hold this heavy rifle over their heads. They're in full packing gear, and they stand there for hour after hour after hour. And their instructors run up and down on the beach, and they scream out, because that's what SEAL instructors do, okay? And they say, "Don't you just wish you were warm and dry sometime in the future? See yourself right now being next to a crackling fire, all hot and toasty, right now." They're yelling at him. "Don't tell yourself your arms are tired. See yourself bursting with strength. Visualize visualize balloons tied to your rifle, pulling it over your head. One SEAL who went through this training explained, your drill captains constantly urge you to see yourself already on the mountaintop, already enjoying the benefits. And you know, when you're standing there in that 35-degree water with the rifle over your head, once you start to visualize the fireplace and imagine the warmth and power coursing through your veins, a funny thing starts to happen. The rifle doesn't seem so heavy. The water doesn't feel quite so cold. You catch yourself spontaneously thinking, I can do this. Living in your vision, acting as if your vision were already realized, if only in some small symbolic way. This has tremendous impact on your subconscious, and it helps you find the way to take your vision to reality. In other words, just like the SEALs said, we become what we imagine. And finally, you can see failure as the best way to fire up your imagination, no matter how discouraged you get some days. Imagination learns from itself. That's why you can learn through experience or other people's failures and mistakes. The only real failure, actually, is the failure to use your imagination to learn from your mistake. So now imagine yourself with a great future. The world is waiting for people with passion and determination, and especially imagination. You can invent your own job or future, and you can hire yourself. This is the best economy in history to do that. You can imagine a life of service to others and imagine new levels of love for family, friends, and country. We, the older generation, imagine